All right. Elder Scrolls Online 9.2.1 contains a number of fixes and adjustments, the majority being for Endless Archive, including some initial adjustments for class sets. We've also adjusted the prices for the Golden Vendor and adjusted the achievement requirement to purchase a Grandmaster Crafting Station. During this week, we will be testing the New Life Festival event. Okay, let's... New Life, cool. We know about that already. All right, here we go. Known issues. Monolith the Storms cannot critically strike despite scaling with your offensive stats and not having an ingrained bonus modifier. There are ongoing discussions on which route the set will go, either enabling critical strikes or adding a self-bonus modifier. Yeah, it needs one or the other for sure. For sure. It's just way it's way too weak at the moment. Esoteric Environment Greaves currently does not properly mitigate damage from some attacks in Endless Archive. Luckily, this bug will not be endless, as a fix is in the works and will be archived in the future. Sauce, come on now. Oh my god. Alright. Combat and abilities. Fixed a not-so-synergistic issue where some abilities that applied synergies, such as the Imperfect Ring, could temporarily remove other effects from targets, such as passives, Mundus Stones, or even ESO+. Oh, wow. Okay. Is this what's been removing our passives? Synergy stuff? Interesting. Well, that's good to know that they figured that out. Fixed an issue where some effects that required a target to be under a certain health threshold could still apply when they should not have, such as Honor the Dead or Cleansing Revival. This should correct the issues that last week's fix introduced, as well as the original issues that fix was attempting to fix. Stealing people's ESO+, yeah. Alright. Arcanist. Gibbering Shield. The Morph's ally targeted shield now can trigger once every 4 seconds rather than once every second. Oof. Oof. This morph is currently enabling far more defensive power to allies than others of its ilk, such as Barrier or Magma Shell, so we're reducing the frequency of the shield refresh to counteract this. We'll continue to keep an eye on this morph over the update to see if we need to investigate further adjustments, as we are aware of its power in group play when multiple players are activating it simultaneously. Yeah, 4 seconds it's a pretty big nerf. That's a pretty big nerf. I'll have to sit with this one and read through it a little more. Let's see. Okay. Dragonite, Magma Armor, Corrosive Armor. This morph now disables ultimate generation while the ability is active. Corrosive has been a potent ultimate for the Dragonite at turning the tides in battle by offering both immense defensive and offensive capabilities, but has slowly been power crept as more sources of ultimate generation have entered the game over time. To quell this, we're moving forward with an adjustment that will ensure the morph retains its stark power spike, but removing the ability to keep the effect up for prolonged periods of time. I think it's fair. Honestly, I think it's pretty fair. It's a huge nerf for Corrosive. It is a huge nerf for Corrosive, but I think it's probably warranted. It's as a DK main, physically pains me to say these things out loud because I want all the power, but yeah, it's good for the game. Yeah, B. All right. Moving on, Basalt Blooded Warrior. This set now grants rock stance for 10 seconds after activating an Earthen Heart ability, down from 20 seconds. But this effect no longer has a cooldown. Remove the minor heroism effect. Updated the tooltip wording to use more consistent language with other effects and help entries in the game. Let's see what they have to say before we get into it. Before the PTS reveal of this set, we deliberated whether or not this set's bonuses were too strong while on your primary weapon set, and we ultimately decided to push it to get feedback. We're seeing a lot of the same thoughts in your feedback, so we're toning down those bonuses. Additionally, we've made the set a lot friendlier to use with more frequent ability usage while making the set less passive to ensure the bonuses feel more justified in their power. So if I'm understanding this right, every time you hit one of your Earthen Heart abilities, you'll get the 10-second buff. With no cooldown. You can refresh it. But there's no more minor heroism. So it's just major heroism. I mean, I think this getting nerfed helped a lot already before they even did anything to this. So you now get major heroism pretty much all the time with this. But if you're running Corrosive, your major heroism does nothing while your ult's up. Too strong. Still seems strong. Between this and the Corrosive nerf, I think it's good. Sounds good to me. I think it's probably okay. I mean, you can still get your minor heroism through other sources. It was kind of nice having the set do it and freeing you up to use other things, but is it considered a proc set? Probably. I would think so, the way it works. Stacks are still persisting through swaps, though. Yeah, I think that seems intended. I mean, the thing is, you don't... Like, they just made a massive change to Corrosive. So you don't want to go in and then all of a sudden, like, gut this set, too, at the same time. It's like... I think they did the right thing by kind of just like tapping this set down a little, and now we'll see where, like, how it lines up with the new Corrosive. So I think it's okay for now. I mean, obviously get in there and test it, but I don't think it's overly strong. Like, if you take more away from this set, it's just nobody's going to use it. Like, that's the problem. Monolith of Storms fixed an issue where the tooltip did not properly mention that scales with your weapon and spell damage. Yeah. And they said they're going to do more to this set. It needs a lot more. I think it needs more than just better damage too. The way that it works is just really wonky. Like, the way that it initially triggers from your abilities and how it then triggers again on the 5th tick from those abilities. It's just kind of strange. I think overall they need to kind of just simplify this set a bit more and make it deal better damage than it does now, and they'll at least have a fun Sork set for damage. Nobility and Decay. You may now tether to yourself when Beautiful Corpse is active, causing you Wait. You may now tether to yourself when Beautiful Corpse is active, causing you to deal the effects of the tether ability in a small radius around your character. Similarly to how there would be a small radius around the corpse you tethered to normally, but with the advantage that it moves with you. I mean, that's cool. That's definitely cool. I think that is a cool idea. The problem is the bonuses are still not very good on this set. And you can only do this once every 20 seconds minus 2 seconds for each bone skill you have on. And you have to be in combat. I'm pretty sure it said you have to be in combat to initially activate it anyways. So you can't like run up to a fight and have this going either. It's definitely an improvement though. It's interesting, like the idea of like tethering to yourself and having some like AoE around you. But have the Beautiful Corpse thing have no cooldown? Yeah. Yeah, that could be cool. Like, what is it really like that? Like, how many things can you really have on yourself? Like, how much room do you really have for? I don't know. It still doesn't seem like it's going to be very popular, but I do like the change. I think it's a step in the right direction, for sure. Yeah. Tether skill only. All right, let's move on. The Arcanist set fixed an issue where the set did not properly work with Reconstructed Domain, Remedy Cascade, and its morphs, or so half the abilities in the line. Okay. Fixed an issue where this set would apply an empty buff in your buff tray. Okay. The set now offers 731 Magicka and Stamina for its 2, 3, and 4 pieces rather than 1096 Magicka for each. Yeah, this is a piece of feedback I gave. For sure. I thought it was kind of weird. It was just all magical lines. So it's... What is that? 1096, 731. So you still end up with like overall more stats than you would. It's like 2/3 of it. 2/3 of... Yeah. It's... Yeah, I mean, it's alright. The tooltip now properly mentions it does not activate off the Curative Runeform ultimates and describes the effects of the major and minor buffs granted. Okay. Soul Cleaver updated the set's tooltip to mention that the Siphoning Ultimate does not gain the damage or healing increase since you spend your ultimate upon activation, putting you under its requirement of 20. Okay. This is just even more reason to just give the bonus to give 30% damage and healing to all non-ultimate abilities in that line. That you don't need conditions. Like, if you're not going to include the ultimate anyways, you definitely don't need all these stipulations and conditions. Just give it the cost reduction and the increase. And then it's a fun niche set for like really nice strong heals and damage from a specific skill line. But right now it's like sometimes you're going to get like no damage, hardly any damage, and any healing extra out of it, and then sometimes you'll get a lot, but when you are getting a lot, it's when you're holding your ult for longer than you normally would on a Nightblade anyways. I don't really like how this set works. I think if it was just unconditional increases, it would at least be interesting for certain setups. But yeah, how it is now is just not, it's not the ticket. I want you to slot Meteor. Yeah, not a fan. Let's see what else. So we have some fixes for Greymore. Looks like some antiquity fixes. Tales of Tribute stuff. Necrom. Item sets can now be found in their own section. Okay. Fix a rare issue that could allow jewelry crafting daily rates to grant more platings than intended. Adjusted the achievement requirement from Grandmaster Crafter to Unsurpassed Crafter. I'm not sure what that achievement is. Okay, Endless Archive. Let's see what we got here. Fix an issue where you could get into a state in which no monsters are spawning and you could not progress. That happened all the time after Yolnakrin, so it's good that they have fixed that. You'll now always be directed to the archive portal correctly, regardless of the quests currently tracked. All players will now be teleported to the index correctly once all threads of fate have been depleted. The portal to the Endless Archive index will now always be visually complete. Reordered the visual representation of progression from stage cycle arc to arc cycle stage. That's good. That makes more sense to my brain. The summary screen after completing a run now allows you to click F5 close with the mouse to close the summary. Mega Hound Doom with the 5 months. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. The achievement Archive's Finest now correctly requires encountering all 13 enemy factions rather than 10. Updated the names of multiple achievements. Fixed capitalization errors with some titles. Master Malkest will now properly study a book rather than the palm of his hand. Chess pieces now have proper icons. Oh, that's the Arcanist set. Okay. Made some adjustments to prevent you from purchasing more bound collectible fragments than are necessary to complete the achievements. Tradable collectible fragments, such as those for the public dungeon collectibles, can still be purchased after completing the achievement for trading or reselling. Can they? I thought they were bound. I thought these from the archive were bound. I'll have to look at that again. But if they have some stuff that you can buy for reselling, that would be really good, I think. Because the conversion to buy the gold pack in the Endless Archive, you spend 5,000 archival fortunes and it gives you a box of 5,000 gold. It's so bad. It's a terrible conversion ratio. So, given that, like, to have something that you can buy with your fortunes to, like, turn around and sell to other players, I think is a really good idea. So hopefully that is the case here. All right, update the tooltip for the archival fortunes purse and fortunes container quest rewards. The public dungeon ones aren't bound. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Nariel. VG3's got such good music. This is my Baldur's Gate and Divinity playlist. Feels like good patch notes music. I don't know why. Currency and rewards. You no longer receive white or green generic potions or other miscellaneous loot from the chest. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that was just... I just skipped that almost every time. From the Marauder... You'll only receive archival fortunes, gold, and companion gear when companions are active. Thematic treasures, soul gems, and repair kits as part of the general loot. Okay, that's... Yeah, that's better to just clean that up. The merchants no longer refuse service to vampire players. Adjusted the pricing for the curated class set containers and account upgrades. I assume that means they're cheaper now? Not more expensive? Hopefully. We're planning to make additional adjustments to archival fortunes, currency, and vendor prices as we make balance changes to the Endless Archive experience. Fix an issue. This is ominous. Is this ominous to anyone else? As we make balance changes to the Endless Archive experience. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'd like a little more details there, please. Okay, we'll see. Fix an issue where Thoat Replicanum would not reward the proper amount of archival fortunes on Arc 10 or higher. Verses and Visions. Here we go. Some of these definitely need some adjustments. This is a big thing of feedback I'm going to give them this week, is over the Verses and Visions, now that I've got to see a lot of them and see other people talking about them. I mean, the currency cap wasn't intentional? Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. Fix some resizing issues with the Mora's Boon window. Mora's Boons now correctly show all verses and visions acquired throughout a run once the run is completed. Fix graphical issues with some of them. Okay, verse selection tentacle will now... Okay, these are mostly like bug fixes, it seems like. Reduce the damage of the Swift Gale verse. Aw, come on. They're already coming for us. Week 2. Week 2, they're already coming for us. Oh, bruh. Fixed and clarified the tooltip of the Resolute Mind Vision. They don't even say how much they reduced it. Like, how much? Like, by what percent? Come on, give us a little more than that. Fixed and clarified the tooltip for the Resolute Mind Vision. The Ferocious Fortification Vision no longer displays multiple stacks. Adjusted the visual effects. Random. Okay, not really many actual balance adjustments here to these, except for Swift Gale. Yeah. Swift Gale was really strong, for sure. But I think they should have... We'll see where it all lands. I don't want to get too overboard with this. It might be like a small nerf, so... Portals to the Unknown. They'll always appear when intended. No longer be offered duplicate verses in portals. The abilities will now always be changed when transformed into a Watcher or a Goat. You will no longer receive an erroneous message for completing portals to the Unknown when you fail to do so. They added a center screen message to the echoing den to indicate when time is running out. Vampire players no longer need to eat an additional sweet roll. Thank you. I noticed this one. I was like, wait. It was like turn to fight after 3 sweet rolls. And I'm like, but I don't have my ult yet. I'm a vampire. So that's good. I'm glad they accounted for that now. Added a visual telegraph to Aramril's domain and Theater of War. Aramril no longer displays an erroneous talk to prompt when approached quickly in Theater of War. Okay, stages. Your character no longer has a chance to inadvertently teleport from within the fight space of certain stages. Fixed environmental visuals not appearing correctly. Dwarven Centurions now have a chance to join other Dwarven constructs. Cryomancers can no longer target player pets. Psycho Bosses. Malcast will now appear and move appropriately when encountered after Psycho Bosses have been defeated. Void Mother Elgroaldi now correctly scales with the current arc. Zajasa, the Forgotten's Dark Monoliths, will now always protect your character from Void Explosion. Yeah, I saw some people reporting that they were getting blasted in this, even when they're hiding behind the pillars. Yolnikrin's death will no longer stall progression in Endless Archive. Flame Atronachs no longer form a pool of lava upon death. Adjusted the visual effects for the Curse of Suffering and Curse of Dominance in the encounter with High Kinlord Rillis, and then Calurian will now properly create his totems when engaged. The Arc Boss, Master Malcast, now properly announces you have arrived before instructing you to approach. Master Malcast will always use his portal to leave the fight space. Glass Tendrils now have a visual telegraph for the glittering scrap ability. Oh, that's really good. There is so much visual noise in this fight. There's just like crap everywhere. Like, and it's all this like glass, special glass look from that arena. And these things have no actual AoE indicator. They're just on the ground and spin around. So that's going to be nice to at least be able to see the AoEs for those. Yeah, visual chaos for sure. Splintering Mirror will no longer create mirror shards when struck by the Necrotic Orb ability. Okay, yeah, I think there's some other abilities that are dots that are also doing this. But maybe it was Orb that I had. No, because I had Mystic Orb. Or maybe it's just saying the any morph of that. I definitely noticed, so I stopped damage and I still broke out the mirror shards when it's supposed to be direct damage, I believe. But anyways, Splintering Mirror is now easier to see when not the primary target of Thoat. The damage shield provided by Splintering Mirror will now scale with Thoat's health. The Forging Breath ability will now always target the ground as intended from Thoat's dragon form. Spoilers! Player heals can no longer heal invisible targets. Wait, what? Player heals can no longer heal invisible targets. Was this a strat? Was this a strat? One person go invisible and get healed? I don't know. Can you mention to them about fixing the ads line of sighting on PS5? Send me a Discord message with some details on that. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. There are some weird invisible NPCs or something in there getting healed. Oh, NPCs stealing heals. Okay, that makes more sense. It's like, what weird strategies are people using? Okay. Anyways. Oh, they gave us the prices. Good. Fix an issue. Okay. Reduce the prices of the Golden Vendor. Please note that there will be a pricing discrepancy for her wares between console and PC players until Update 40 launches. Okay. Overland Jewelry will now cost 125k gold. Dungeon Jewelry will cost 200k gold. Mask and shoulders will remain the same. I mean, that makes sense that the masks and shoulders don't change because those weren't affected by the economy change. Removed an item that was appearing in the Antiquity and Item Sets Collections UI before it was ready. That was the mythic item that some of you guys noticed. I didn't really report on it because, frankly, I knew that it wasn't supposed to be there. So, yeah, there you go. It's not ready. So, maybe it'll be a little bit better when it does come out. But I think that is probably about it. Yeah, I think that's probably it. What do y'all think about the prices here? 125K and 200K? I mean, what's 125 divided by 8? I guess it depends on like what these what the tempers, or not the chromium platings end up selling for after the changes. Console is still fairly pricey, but as long as it's cheaper than buying the materials and upgrading it yourself, I think it makes sense. But if it's more expensive than buying the materials, then it's like, what's the point, you know? I think, yeah, so Days is saying it won't be cheaper. I think that might vary by server. I think on PC, there's a very good chance that these prices will be cheaper than what you can upgrade them for still. But, oh dang, so platings after this change on console are going to be just dirt cheap. See, I think, because right now, like before going into this, platings were like 400,000 on PC. So even like if things get reduced exactly to how they've adjusted it, I still think they could cost quite a bit. Because it does take twice as many to upgrade them now. But we did get a 10. I think they're gonna be PCNA maybe like 50,000 each, 40,000 each. Something like that. 40K?
Hi.
Golden jewelry costs 20% of what it used to. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if that's going to directly turn into 20% of the previous cost. Because technically we got 10 times our mats. So I think maybe it'll start off closer to like 10% of the cost, but then like settle closer to 20%. Since it costs more to upgrade them? I don't know. Economies are hard. That's definitely not my... Yeah, technically we get 5 times our mats. We get 10 times the mats, but it costs twice as much to upgrade. So... yeah. We'll see. We'll see where they settle in at. But I think this for PC will probably still be cheaper. Like right now, like this was way cheaper to buy it from the Golden than to upgrade on PC. At the old amounts. But I think it'll still be cheaper. Which is, I think, it like if it wasn't, then it wouldn't make sense. But for console, like I don't know if it's more expensive. Is it just because you don't have to go like farm the set or something? But for Overland, you can just buy blue and upgrade it to gold. If that's cheaper than the golden vendor, then what's the point? Yeah, that's kind of... I guess maybe you have a bunch of AP that you don't know what to use it on. Yeah, most people use AP anyways. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I think that'll wrap up the patch notes. Yeah, that's about it. Bye, YouTube.